Today, I talk about obesity. When I was a kid, we didn't see any fat people, did we? When you see the fat person, the person is the president of the company, right? Obesity and the presidents are connected together. If the person is not the president, the person couldn't be fat. The president eats good stuff and take care all the time. The person does all the time. But we have too many presidents these days. Well, why did the obesity become so much? People think it's too simple. When we think about the health, it's a change that happens in our bodies. It's the wrong change. That's the wrong change. Just because we eat a lot, we gain the weight a lot. This is a kind of a kindergarten way of thinking. If you think this way of thinking and approach the problem of obesity, there is no solution. Knowing this obesity the problem is also a genetic problem. First of all, what is obesity? We save too much fat in our fat, right? This fat is not just oil. When I was in the medical school, when they're dissecting the dead body, the skin, that's leather, take the leather off by a surgical knife. What's the first thing to appear? The fat layer is coming out. The yellow fat layer that comes out and that's very small and rounded. What are the rounded ones? Those are the fat cells. Fat cells look like sacs. The fat comes in there and it becomes the savings. There are three ways to save the energy that remain in our body. What's the first one? It's like the bank. You couldn't withdraw cash anytime. Also, you withdraw the cash by ATM. Just a regular account. That kind of savings. And what kind of the savings do you have? That's not the even savings. You couldn't withdraw the cash anytime. But that doesn't come much interest. And then there is a very low interest rate which you couldn't withdraw anytime. If you have a deposit, what happens when you withdraw? It's complicated. Sitting and stamp your seal again, they ask you to show your the ID, hit the PIN number. It's not easy to withdraw cash and also the slight loss of some money. That kind of savings called fixed deposit. We save energy in our body just like that way. You know what I mean? So this is just ordinary deposit. What's the ordinary deposit is a form of glycogen. It will be saved. Then the fixed deposit is fat. The remainder carries changes to the fat and save at the fat cells. So once the fat is saved in the fat cells, if you want to take it out, what happens? There must be some reason. There must be some reason. Then it's harder to cancel it. Now that's kind of a situation. So if people don't want to live well, all those kinds of savings are well balanced. Some people have a lot of fixed deposit but no money to spend. So borrowing some money. The person doesn't want to cancel the fixed deposit. This is the state of obesity. You have to fix the deposit a lot, but it's harder to withdraw. So borrowing money here, there, and pay back, live like this. For a person to be healthy, you need a fixed deposit, right? Of course you need it. When I was on TV, I didn't have any fixed deposit back then, but I have some fixed deposit. I have some fixed deposit these days. I have some money to spare now. Then you have to have the ordinary deposit, right? What did I say? The ordinary deposit? Glycogen. In English, glycogen. It transfers sugar into glycogen and put into the liver cells and muscle cells. When taking out any time, it will be sugar again, so you can burn the sugar. That's why the glycogen, then fat. Then what? Cash. Blood sugar. Blood sugar is cash. So you have to have a little cash and ordinary deposit and fixed deposit. Live that way that the person who live the healthy and economic way. We have to live that way too. I have some cash and ordinary deposit, so it's balanced well. So back then, when I don't have the fixed deposit, wear this kind of the clothes, I felt like this. I look horrible. I look horrible, but I look attractive now. And the balance is broken and only gained the fixed deposit. The case that only the fixed deposit is increased. As a fat, it is the condition that is too strong to be saved in the fat cells. That is called obesity. So when looking at the fat cells, doctors treated the fat cells as the food all days. Fat cells are filled with the fat, that's all. What do they know? But the fat cells, they are also the cells that consist of the human body. So they are smart. Watching the fat cells, they just don't receive the remained fat without thinking. So, for example, thinking that there is a sack here, the remained calorie and the remained blood sugar, which is not used, they transfer into the fat and save here. They are saved and they are also fat cells, so what should be in the cell? They need a program. What is that? It's a gene. As a fat cell, there is a program that they need. Nowadays, we think fat cells don't have programs. When the fat comes in, then they just receive it, and when they have to get out, what happened? Just get it out, that's all. But that's wrong. Watching that, even though this fat cell inputs the program like this, this is the nucleus, the genes input all over here. There are several genes that are the input. Among them, we found a gene that very deep relationship with obesity. After all, even though the obesity on the map, let's take a look at the genetic map. This gene on the number 7, the chromosome, occurs the problem. Get diabetes. Here the genes number 7 on the chromosome altered and doesn't work well, then what happened to the obesity occurs? How much it should be in the fat cell? How the control of the producing such a mysterious substance? There is such a gene. You are not gonna be fat just because you eat a lot. When I was on TV in the old days, I used to be skinny like this. I was so skinny and tried to get some weight. I tried to eat a lot. Back then, when I'd eat cold noodle, 3 or 4 bowls. Back then, when I eat 3 or 4 corn on the cobs one sit. Why? The idea of gaining the weight was too strong. Oh, I never gain weight. Oh, when do I gain weight? We knew that later on. The gene that inside of Dr. Lee's the fat cell says, not yet. I can't do it for you. Saying like this, I don't know this and just think that they eat a lot and gaining weight. I don't eat a lot these days. I'm not a big eater, but what happened? I'm gaining the right weight. So the gene that inside of the fat cell, what happened? It's balanced now. So you have to think about the genes. That's the only way to lead you the way to solve the problem of your health. The substance that produced here, the substance that controlled how much save the fat in the fat cell. The name of this substance is leptin. What's the meaning of lept? In English, thin. What's that? It's the meaning of thin. In. That's a substance. The substance that make thin. This substance is well produced. Leptin is well produced. This leptin asks the fat in the fat cells to get out. So no matter you hard to diet, no matter you fast you are, if the gene that produces the leptin says not yet, then after finishing the diet, you are gaining the more weight. You know what I'm saying? You have to know this leptin well. You have to get along with this gene. You have to know this gene and you have to be keeping with it. So, I gain more weight. This is no longer the weight control. So, this leptin gene